Alright, so I'm recording right now. I'm trying to use some of the time I have driving from my work to home and vice versa. It's half hour to 35 minutes one way. So I'd like to try to use some of that time for a lot of times I sit here and I think about different things, like gaming wise, stuff like that. If you hear any beeps in the background, that's my lane indicator. That's like super sensitive. So, what we're going to be talking about, the first part of this video is going to be audio, the second part is going to be visual. It's about, you want to go to a con, okay? Some things will be pretty self-explanatory, pros and cons. Hey, you want to go to a con, you figure out which one you want to go to. I guess the biggest two things about a con is if you're going with people, how you're getting there for one, and who you're going with, if anybody. Now, I've gone to several cons over the years. I've done it with groups of people. I've done it by myself. I've done it by train. I've done it by driving. Primarily more driving, like carpooling, stuff like that. I'll go over kind of each one's which I prefer, some tips and tricks. And some of my stuff might surprise you when it comes to traveling with a group. So we're going to go ahead, get your hotel room in advance. It's pretty simple. I'm actually getting ready to reserve my hotel room for a store con for next year. If you don't even know if you're going to be going because of how your vacation works, still reserve it anyway. Almost all hotels nowadays, there's a non-fee for canceling within up to 30 days to 24 hours. So hopefully you'll know within 30 days if you're going to be able to go to a con or not. Usually doesn't cost you anything, like I said. That's probably your best bet, is to cover for the whole weekend, or the length of the con. That's what I recommend. Like next year, I'm probably not going on a Wednesday. And what's nice is you can modify a lot of those reservations. Going with a group is definitely your cheapest option. So, I guess I'll go with the pros and cons of that. Con, or I guess pro, a lot cheaper. You distribute the cost amongst everybody. It's cool going as a group, like a party atmosphere. Probably the biggest draw, it's way cheaper. If you have enough people in a nice enough room, you literally pay for maybe 1 day of a 5-day con, like we did for Adepticon for Nova Open for a number of years. Okay? It's a lot of times, a lot less paperwork for you to do unless you're the guy booking the room, which I ended up, for 2 of the years, became that person because, we had some hiccups with the last individual, which, it happens. Cons. You're not by yourself, and let's be honest, 5 dudes in a 2-bedroom fills up pretty fast, because unfortunately we had a little couch guy was on, 2 guys had full-size air mattresses on the floor. We had to rearrange the room. That room was tight. The AC barely controlled it. Quite frankly, a lot of my friends didn't know, at one point, we all agreed, hey, we'll divvy the money up at the end, because usually they don't charge you. That's not a problem. And this is where the biggest con part happens. When you decide to square up, does everyone pay you ahead of time, or does everyone pay you at the end of the con or the middle of the con? What happened to me the one year, everyone paid, which was no problem at the end. The hotel charged my card twice. So it wasn't until I was home when they charged me again for whatever reason, and I had to distribute the facts. Which leads me into, if you're going to go on vacation on a con, as much as it sucks, I pay almost everything with a credit card. And then whenever I get back, I go ahead and whatever I put on the card as a charge, I make sure I put that money right back on and pay the card off the amount. And the whole simple fact of the reason is, credit cards will tell people to go fuck themselves. Unlike bank cards, which we'll kind of like hee-haw around about charges and fight and then getting your money back from like a vendor or from like a hotel. Credit cards do not care. They'll stop a charge in its tracks and they'll get you your money back refunded. They do not care. Plus, too, if someone steals your information, the credit card companies will definitely fight it. Bank card companies, it takes you forever to get your money back. Credit card companies, a lot less time. So that's one way they're a little bit safer, especially with like them guys. Another year, one of our guys, Jason, we specifically had valet for 2 vehicles. They lost his car for like an hour. Like, we're all standing there waiting. Like, we give him the tickets for both cars. The dude comes back. Other dude comes back. We can't find dude's car. Well, where's the ticket? We lost it too. What? They totally lost Jason's car. And then, like, while we were driving away, they tried charging us for valet service again when they said it would be for free. And I had to call and argue and flip out about them with it. Sorry if I had a little bit of cold. I'll try to edit that out. So, like, so credit cards are nice. That's probably the biggest con is, like, you have to share a room with people. Sometimes it's unreliable. Doing it yourself, there's some pros and cons. Let's go over the cons first. Con, you're eating that whole cost. It's just you in the room. So if it costs you... Okay, someone sent me a message. Oh, great, my phone wants to keep going off. Okay, let's start that over. Oh, are you done? Are you done, phone? Are you done, phone? Jesus. I'll have to edit all this out. Okay, you done? Oh, this is annoying. I might put my phone. I think next time I record, folks, as much as I don't like to, put my phone on airplane mode, I think, and record. So anyway, cons. You're eating the whole cost yourself. If it costs $1,200 for that room, for that con, you're paying $1,200. You know what I mean? Wake up service is all completely on you. You know what I mean? You have to do everything yourself, get your room set up, all that kind of stuff. Pros, though, honestly, no one's bickering over cost or who's getting to bed, whatever. You can do whatever you want to. I mean, if you have a significant other, you meet a chick or dude, go back to your thing, do whatever. Plus, too, like, as much as it sounds weird, you have more space for more stuff you buy at the con. You can, like, kind of pile it up. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, guys. I prefer to travel by myself with cons now. And a few of my other friends who want to go, the first thing they would suggest is like, hey, we'll share a room. And I tell them no right off the bat. And, I mean, it seems very dickish. But, like, then I explain to them, like, listen, I've gone all these years with people. It's always a pain in the neck. Plus, too, like, sometimes I have night terrors from the service. So, like, I don't want to subject people to that. You know what I mean? Plus, too, I can really party when I want to. You can ask some of the guys about how much I've drunk at a con. And one night, I drank 2/5 of vodka. Now, that's a verified story. And I woke up the next day fine. So, like, you know what I mean? I definitely can party. But I prefer to travel myself. Or I prefer not travel myself, but have my own room. Now, traveling with people, I'm totally fine with that. If you guys want to get your own room and all of us hang out, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Or if something really stupid happens and you guys need, like, someone needs a room for whatever reason, you know what I mean? I'm cool with that. But, like, I definitely prefer to go myself. So, the other thing you got to think about when you're doing, like, a trip for a con, how am I getting there? Am I driving? Am I flying? Am I Ubering? What am I doing? If I'm flying and, say flying out, taking a train out, how am I using the economy, the local transit systems, if any, to get to where I need to go? Is Uber the best, or am I taking a train or a bus? And I'll be honest, The only systems I've really utilized the most of are Uber. When I was down in DC before for Nova Open. No, you'll find Nova Open's probably the con I've gone to the most, simply because it's close, and like as far as gaming convention cons, there's been cons in Pittsburgh I've gone to, but I really don't count those for like planning a trip, because I can drive there. I could go to Pittsburgh every weekend if I wanted to. It's not like a strenuous trip. But I've used DC transit system, the bus system. Once you figure out the subway system, it's amazing. Get you anywhere you want to in the city, and back to your hotel fairly cheap. So like, so you gotta figure that. What are you doing? Are you using the local transit system, or you can do your own thing? Next. So next, what do you want to do? Like, if you're taking a train, it's a whole different ball game. Like, how you getting there, how you getting back. You buy any swag, how you shipping it home? You know what I mean? Is there a post office nearby? Is it feasible to go there, pack everything up, and just ship it home? Which in some ways can be an option in all reality, depending on what you want to do. Because a lot of hotel services offer letter services. As long as you have enough stuff to pay the postage, just ship it. You know what I mean? Or don't you mind a carry-on for a train or whatnot? It's little stuff like that you have to take into account when you're doing a trip. This by no means a complete list. Just a couple of rough guidelines on some things you can look at to do. Next part of the video, you're going to see me talking and like going over some stuff in my car, like things you should do. Also, you've probably noticed already by now, I have like an avatar as a picture. So I found a local artist to do commissions, and I've commissioned her to do 3 pieces of art. These 2, or one of 3 you're seeing here. So whenever I want to do some more content. So I'm finally doing like the audio part. I know the audio's going to be kind of rough till we get used to it. Again, it's all on the phone. But I want to... but I want to utilize this time to like put thoughts down on paper, or so to speak. To like be able to record it and put it out. Like... I hate this fucking... little bit of cough. Next thing I want to put out is some con things, like things I noticed tactics wise that I didn't do normally, like I said I was. Different things about facing meta lists in games. Like your con prep. What a fucking dickhead. Fucking dude just pulled right out in fucking front of me. What a fucking asshole. Man, I tell you what. I could have T-boned that piece of shit. Ugh. Anyway. That could have been really bad. With that being said, folks, I am going to go ahead and get off here. Get back on the road. I'm still driving. Nothing really happened. Just a fucking dude pulled out in front of me like a fucking cocksucker. Alright guys, I will talk to you all later. Okay, so like we mentioned earlier, we're going over some of the stuff that you should probably pack in your vehicle if you're going out on like a con. So we're going to a store con. I'm leaving tomorrow. So one of the things I like to carry obviously is have a cooler, and then you put obviously like I do a little bit of nostalgia, so I'll bring like cheese and meat and stuff like that to go ahead and like make sandwiches. So I'll have that. I'll have my bread and everything in that corner there, and then I'll bring some like breakfast stuff or anything like that in case like I don't have time to go out and about, which you really should. But yeah, like I'll have like ice in there, keep water, Gatorade, a couple of things of tea,
on hand. And then also, you probably can see here, I got a case of water. Now, it's good just bringing a case with you, whatever brand you like. But also, as you can see, I have a small little knapsack. What I'll do is I'll take this in there with me on the con. Usually you're not supposed to, so I'll hide it in like my troop carrier case. Because normally you don't need a full inside of your case when you go to a con. So I'll have this in there. And this comes with like a plastic liner. So I'll put a handful of ice in there, some water, mostly a Gatorade. Because when you're playing, you'll have time to go get lunch. Especially like longer tournaments. And something that I'll pack a couple of these, like these are keto bars. So they'll have like, you need a good pick-me-up. It's good having that, like a bar or two. You're getting hungry, you're getting tired, wore out. Especially if you have like sugar or something like that, like diabetes. It's always good to have like some natural sugar, I guess, with you. Whatever you need to bump your sugar back up. But just having like a cold Gatorade or even water, freaking really helps when you're playing long games. But yeah, usually I have all this stuff packed in here. Right here, I'll usually put like my backpack with my clothes and stuff like that, since I'm actually driving out. Obviously, if you're going to go travel to an event, like via train, or if you're riding with other people, it's totally different. Since I'm driving out there, it's in Pennsylvania. I'm on the western half, it's on the eastern half. So it's not that bad for me to drive out there. So it's come with things, the thing about packing with you, just to be on the safe side. I'll show you my back seat now, because I'm going by myself. If I had another person, I would be able to split up more room. So let me show you how I have part of the back seat laid out, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're back. So my back seat of the Subaru. Now I could lay the seats down and use the back. The one thing you'll see, I have like extra towel and some like odds and ends down here. But I have an extra sleeping bag just in case, like, for some reason hotels shit or something happens. Like, I'll have a sleeping bag. Usually I carry one in here anyway, just for what ifs. But my back seat, I'll have both army cases, one on either side, so they're kind of behind the seats. So if they get jammed forward, they're going to hit the seat, so like go through the middle and go up front of the vehicle. One thing you should always bring with you, like I have the other part of it, one of these like little wooden stands. You used to be able to find them all over the place, little TV dinner stands. Usually you go to like a thrift store or Goodwill's, and you usually get them for a couple bucks, but it's great whenever you're moving from table to table. You have your army already pulled out of your bag, and sometimes you can like check your bag in certain places or bring it with you. But just having your army laid out of your bag ahead of time makes a big difference. It speeds up the game for you and your opponent, and it's just a lot easier than putting bottles back in a case and taking them back out. So this is my bolt action bag here. My battle foam just came in, and it's my other Team Yankee bag. Now the reason I have the one foam on top, I'm still trying to figure out the exact configuration of what I want to do with my foam. So I brought that foam tray just along. Something you want to do too with your vehicle, like I have a Subaru, it's pretty reliable, but like today I was really close to oil change, so I went ahead and just got my oil change anyway, rotated my tires, had them go over everything. Because the worst thing you could possibly, even with a newer vehicle, is you're driving out to a place or a con and you break down. Like, especially when you break down out of your normal area, it's a super pain in the ass. So like I have like AAA on this and stuff like that, so it helps when you're making them long distance trips. For you folks in like other countries like Australia, Britain and stuff like that, I'm not sure how your guys' system works. I know some yins are closer to your vents than us, but I'm not sure how your like transit system, you have some sort of AAA, which is like an auto service to where like if you break down the side of the road or something, they come and they like assist you. Like they'll put your tire back on, which I mean you should know how to put your own tire on, but anyway, some people don't. It's just some extra tips though for when you're packing on the road. It's always good to have one of them cameras. I don't have mine mounted yet, but when you're traveling. And then that center console over here, if I have like any other bag, I'll put like some empty bags there and stuff. So, because you know you're going to go to a con, you're probably going to buy stuff. But that's kind of like over the vehicle packing, just some tips and trips of the vehicle. Always give yourself a rest stop. It's not a race. I know us guys will see a timer on a GPS and we want to beat it. I'm the same way. But usually I'll try to like have maybe hour and a half into the trip, 2 hours, pull over to a rest stop depending where you're at, have a drink like water or whatnot, kind of stretch your legs, relax a little bit. Henceforth, while you have the sandwich stuff in the back, just make yourself a sandwich or two. You know what I mean? Or like eat some chips. Especially if, I mean, it's kind of weird, especially if you're traveling with a bunch of gamers. You'll need to stop over periodically anyway for bathroom breaks and stuff, but it's always good just to stretch the legs, maybe refresh, switch out drivers if you really have to, depending on how far you have to go. But it's always good just to pull off the road if need be and just get a rest. All right, well, we'll go into more stuff here. The next section of the video is going to be, actually, we'll be filming at the con. So it'll be going over your equipment, as in your modeling and hobby stuff, the night before a tournament. Going over everything, make sure you have it all, stuff like that, last minute preps. All right, guys. And then before we go into that, you'll probably have a little bit of a montage of me driving out there. So, all right, we'll talk at you later.
I'm driving to the StoreCon. I'm on my phone, like filming on my phone actually. A lot of folks say I should probably use my phone more than my camera, which we're still working on getting a better camera. It's hard committing to that buy, guys. It really is. Seeing how like we're a small channel, like a small club, although we're working on stuff. But just some of the things that's kind of coming to mind as I'm driving out here is like I have a plan, obviously. Like I have my plan mapped out. I have a few stops. I actually have a business stop out here on the way to StoreCon. One of my banks I have to stop at. But I have my kind of day planned out. Like get out there, hit the bank up, make the rest of the way to StoreCon. Let me turn the music off in the background. But I'm back. But go out there. My hotel room is check-in at 3, so like I have plenty of time. It's right now like 7:45. But get out to the StoreCon, get my registration in, get my grab bag, stuff like that. Kind of walk around the con. I have to stay at a hotel probably like 10 minutes away from the con this year. It was my first year going, but I wasn't 100% sure I was going to be able to go. But things kind of lined up, so I had to get my hotel kind of at the last minute. So, like, I had to find one further out. And that brings up, like, a good question. Like, if you think you're going to be going to a con, as much as it sucks, always register for hotel rooms. That's part that drives me nuts is a lot of these events, the hotel rooms go up for, like, openings months in advance. And, like, for me, how I bid vacation, how we do at work, it's a different bidding cycle. So I can't even bid those days, but I'm expected to get a room. So something I'm going to do next year, I am planning on going. I'm going to get a room underneath, because some of you probably know I'm a veteran. So I'm going to get rooms under a military discount, or try to see what the cost is, and then get a block of rooms under the cons, or under the Historicon Society, was it? Historical Miniatures Wargaming Group, I believe. I'm probably going to get butchered. But just see what the cost comparison is. I also plan on taking a train out next year. The event's at Lancaster. Luckily, Latrobe is where our club's kind of located. We have a train station, and the line runs to Lancaster. So more on that in a future video. I'm just kind of like throwing stuff out there. But like I said, I'm well rested. Freaking got a nice little breakfast in. Put ice in my cooler. I put a little short up. You'll probably see that way before this is done. But yeah, I have a local radio station playing in the background now, which I turned off. But normally I listen to like podcasts or audiobooks, which is something keep in mind, keep your mind focused a little bit, makes the trip go a little bit faster. Just some stuff that's kind of bouncing around in my head. I got all my stuff I'm pretty sure I got and I need. Clothes packed, stuff like that. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, guys. It's my first year going. There's the sun. And, yep, look at that. Make sure you have your sunglasses. Apparently, I'm looking around and I kind of forgot mine somewhere. So I have to stop at a gas station and pick up a set. When you're traveling, the one thing I've always suggested to people is like have a couple $100 cash on you, depending where you're going, in case you do lose your wallet or something like that, or you'll still have some cash, or your card gets compromised. A few years ago, one of my buddies went to another con, and lo and behold, as much as you don't like to talk about it, his card got like a scam, they called it, and they drained his account, at a con. Now he got his money back, but like he was there, like he said, for like 2 days. He had his room already paid for, but no money. So like, it was really like his buddies helped cover him, you know what I mean? But just be cognizant of that. So if your card gets skimmed or whatever, have a couple $100 cash. The card, I suggest if you're going to spend money at cons, which everyone does, as much as like some people don't like doing it, I use a credit card if I'm able to, simply because credit card charges are easier to dispute. Credit card company doesn't give a fuck. They'll dispute anything. Like, they'll get your money back. Bank cards, it's a little bit sketchier. It takes a lot longer. And, disputing a credit card's way easier. So I'll spend credit card, and I'll have the cash in my regular bank account. And then what I'll do is, once I get back, I'll go ahead and I'll make a payment of what I spent. You know what I mean? So I'm not getting blasted with interest, stuff like that. Just some things to think about. I know people have probably already covered this or talked about it in other things. Like right now I'm driving cruise control, which is kind of nice. As you can see, like, we're driving Pennsylvania's turnpike here. It's a whole nother story in itself. But, it's pretty much straight shot for me. Yeah, guys. I figured I'll do a couple little snippets on my phone. I have like an hour of recording on my phone. And I'll do a few snippets here or there, my progress. You know what I mean? Like, Pennsylvania is definitely a nice place to drive through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, guys. I'll let you know when we get there. And, hey, keep on keeping on. Well, I'm recording now. Oh, that's right. So, listen to some YouTube. My truck the Subaru just told me I've been on the road for 2 hours. So that tells you how long I've been driving, guys. Almost to my first checkpoint, basically, which is the one stop. I got another half hour to get there. Take care of that, and then, I don't know, jump back on the turnpike and get to StoreCon. I just listened to episode 92 of Steve and Steve Talk RPGs. I'm going to put a link in the description for the video. Shout out to them guys. Great show. They're talking about a Pittsburgh retro gaming convention coming up. I'm just going to try to go up there and hang out. Maybe make a small video about it. Just check it out. Definitely check it out. It got released a couple days ago, so it tells you when this is. I mean, a day ago. But yeah, just driving. Like I said, one of the rest stops. Nice country out here. You know what I mean? We're probably, half hour away from Harrisburg. So that gives you an idea. Just cruising through YouTube on. And, had music playing in the background. I have to say, I did have some audiobooks loaded up. I thought I did. Apparently I don't. I just finished listening to my last audiobook at work the other day. So, yeah, I don't feel like trying to, obviously on the road, try to download an audiobook and then listen to it. Although, once I get to StoreCon, I think I have a couple credits left on my Audible account. I'll probably download a couple books. Series I like to listen to, and actually I've read a lot of, is the Deathland series. It's kind of cool. Basically, it's one of the genres I really am into, is post-apocalyptic. So it's like World War III happened. It's 100 years later. The United States is all effed up. It's called Deathlands. It's interesting. If you're in that whole like really 80-esque pop punk post-apocalyptic world, got crazy mutants, got some sci-fi elements. The only couple parts I don't like, I wish the characters would progress more. But then again, it's a pulp series, so like there's like almost 150 titles. They stopped making the books 2015, so now they're all audio dramas. But and then every bad guy's almost everyone, even the female bad guys, are like sexual despots. I'm just not a big fan of, like, oh, they meet this guy and he's a rapist. Oh, this lady, she's a rapist. Oh, this guy, he's a rapist. Oh, did we mention this guy's a rapist? I'm just like, okay, I know you're a bad dude and all, but like, it's like, come on. And thank goodness for cruise control. But yeah, just putting away, guys. Figured I'd give you a little update. Like I said, been on the road for about 2 hours. We're getting out there. Kind of nice part about out this way, Turnpike's 6 lanes, which I think they're expanding the whole Turnpike that way. So that's kind of cool. Makes once it's fixed, it's actually not bad to drive. But like I said, it's a big burden. But yeah, guys, it's kind of the update now. Just driving along here, and then I got another 14 miles before I hit my exit. So I should be there actually in a little bit here. Yeah, guys, that's road driving update 2. As you see, it's pretty wide open spaces out here up ahead. I guess some folks driving. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, another update. Finished up my little bit of stuff in Harrisburg. Side note, didn't get anywhere with that. So a little bit out of the way. I might stretch my legs a little bit. So now I'm on the final stretch on the approach. I have like 30 miles according to my map and the GPS. Fun thing, a lot of folks, like another little side note I kind of remembered. Like, yeah, GPSs are great. They're all based on your phone. Fun fact, believe it or not, your phone has a little GPS, but when it comes to actually like using a GPS function, it actually still goes up the cell phone towers. So basically it uses, you have service that helps fulfill the GPS part of it. So if you don't have any service, you really don't have any GPS, you know what I mean? Unless you have like maps loaded or something like that. That's why I always have a set of maps, like a set of maps in the back. It's Audio's Atlas. They're like $30, but what's cool about them is they make one for every state. I knew they make foreign ones. I've seen ones for like Mexico and stuff like that. But basically, it gives you the entire like state or area you're going to, and it actually breaks it down even to dirt roads, like all kinds of stuff. Like, fun fact, near my house, there's an old logging road on my family property, and it shows up on the map as a Jeep trail. So like, that's how detailed they are. So it's really good to have. Another fun fact about reading maps, it's kind of like a lost skill. Some roads will say Distillery Road, okay? There might be signs for calling it Distillery Road, but when you go to larger maps, a lot of times they'll have the state route designator on it. So Distillery Road might be Distillery Road. There might be 15 distillery roads in, say, Pennsylvania, which I'm sure there's more than that. So what will happen is they'll give each road a designator. So it'll be like state route, like SR 380. Okay, I'm just throwing numbers out there. So when you're reading those kind of maps, you might see a lot of these trails or roads that'll just have the state designator on it. You'll just see SR 380, and it's not until you actually get on the road. Sometimes you'll see like a little sign off to the side, like a little green and white sign. They'll actually have the state route number for the road. Okay, so the more you read the map and like go by it, the easier it becomes. It's just something I picked up like through the military and honestly through the pipeline. I used to work in the pipeline. You used to go to these like places way out of the way, and they're saying, "Oh, you're going to like Toll House Road." Okay, there's no Toll House Road around here. Pull out the old map, and you'll see like State Route 370 something. you get on there, and then like you might cross-reference it. Oh, is this Toll House Road? Boom. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. Just I guess a little bit of knowledge for you guys. Like I said, I got like another half hour roughly of travel time. I'll get to the convention, like I said today. Check in. I don't think the vendor hall's open yet today, but I'll be able to check in, get stuff. And then I kind of realized I'm in the Team Yankee Nationals event. I'm going to be playing in it. I have to download an app, and it's like some sort of like West Coast pairings app or something. You know what I mean? As much as I don't like downloading apps for events, like Magic has done that. Now you have the Magic Companion app. They're nice in one way. I guess it makes it nicer for a TO, because like if you can run the app properly, then like you don't need to sit there and holler out tables or print off a sheet and hang a sheet up. You can just do everything on the computer, and then boom, hit update, and everyone gets their pairing, their table, and stuff like that. So from a TO's perspective, it's really great. But like for me, being old and a Grugnar, like, oh really? I had to download another app? Like, come on, guys. But I mean, that's just me having a minor gripe. But then again, it's a larger event. I think it's up to 60 players. So like, once you start, I've been a TO for different events, and once you get past like a certain number, like the most of their TO for is up to 40 people, and like that's pretty daunting at times, trying to figure out pairings and also figure out table placements, because you don't want people playing on the same table, and it's hard. It really is hard to keep that from happening. I guess I'm going on a tangent here, but anyway, I guess you guys like me doing these little recording and tangents. Let me know. I'll start maybe doing them on the way to work or something. Like I have a half-hour drive to work every day, and a half-hour back, so it's like an hour maybe. So anyway, it makes it nice that way, because you just plug numbers in, and the app itself, or like the program you're using, will do all the math for you. Pairings, best of schedule, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where pen and paper, depending on how big your event is, can be really daunting. So I can kind of get it. We have 60 plus people. I don't know how many signed up. I do know the 825 bolt action event I'm in is full, and I want to say there was 9 or 10 tickets left for the 1,000 point Mythos bolt action event. Like that's the official bolt action event. So like Warlord Games is apparently doing something similar to Battlefront, where Battlefront has battle rankings that's put on by Lee and Luce and them guys. Which is one of the reasons I'm going out to this event, because I want to get some points. But they're doing like an official event. So this is like a invite to Nationals, or yeah, I think Nationals. It's one of their first events. I'm playing it just to get the experience, you know what I mean, that 28 millimeter itch, and just see how well I do, you know what I mean. So I'm taking an all-comers list, which I'll probably do a separate video on what my list composition is, and then I'll go over how it does, you know what I mean, at the event. But yeah, I got like another half hour driving. I'll probably end up pulling over before I actually get there, because I think it opens at 11, and right now it's like 10:15 my time. So if you folks are keeping track on how long I'm on the road for, but I'm probably going to end up pulling over, grab some ice water, some more iced tea out of the back of the cooler, make a ham or turkey sandwich, and then just kind of like chill for like maybe 15-20 minutes, then get back on the road. Like I said, we'll see what happens here. I don't think there's any really big rest stops along this way. I'd rather not go out of my way looking for a rest stop or a place to pull over and hang out. So, alright guys, that's kind of the update. Hopefully, well, the next time, hopefully I make a little short video. It'll be me actually at the convention center in Lancaster. Alright guys. Also, I made it, so got my ticket printed off. Wasn't so bad. Actually, kind of early, turns out. So some of the Battlefront guys are coming over and help move some tables. But yeah, we've made it here. I'll let you give some updates.
Well, I made it. Pretty awesome. Met the Battlefront guys. I helped them move some boards and stuff around. That's kind of cool. They ended up really cool guys. Big shout out to the Battlefront crew. Hell of nice guys. And I know one guy's, oh man, I'm horrible with names, but they're really nice guys. I got some cool stuff off of them. Yeah, it turns out it's 12 o'clock now. I'm 3 hours early. I was able to get my badge. Unfortunately, my little grab bag and stuff was not available, but I did get my badge, so I have that. My check-in at the hotel was 3. I did a recon of the area. It's hot as balls out here. Yeah, freaking, I think next year I'm definitely going to try to get the hotel room itself. That way I can just park and not worry about it. Figuring out what I'm going to do for the weekend. There's definitely parking here, but it's only 2-hour parking. So, like, it's kind of the bad part. Every 2 hours you have to update your parking thing. So I'm going to probably try to utilize the parking garage. As much as that kind of sucks. So, looking at the time all my events start, I'm going to try to get here kind of early. I'm actually thinking about heading out of the area back towards my hotel. Because there's nothing really going on. The banner hall is really not open right yet. That won't be till tomorrow. I'm pretty full. Looks like pretty full though, guys. From I was in the vendor hall a little bit. I'm gonna work on getting a press pass next year. But really awesome. Hopefully I'll have some videos. I plan on using my camera for a lot of this stuff. So I have like an hour of record time on this thing. So when I get home tonight or get to the hotel tonight, what I'm going to simply do is like download everything onto my computer and then splice it. Yeah, it's $5 for parking for 2 hours. So I'm assuming the parking garage will be something similar to that. So probably a flat rate for the whole day. I'm hoping. Either way, I'm going to end up utilizing it. Like I said, next year I'm going to try to take a train out here. And then seeing how driving's not too awful bad if you're used to like really cluttered areas, but like I don't like driving in it, but I can. So I'm debating whether I'm just going to hang out in the area for 3 hours or head to my hotel, which is not too far away, but there's like a lot of eateries out there, or maybe try to find a hobby shop out locally. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated, or next time you see me will probably be later tonight or tomorrow. Alright guys. Okay. So, I'm in the room. Actually, it said reservations is open. Yeah, you get what you pay for. So total for 4 nights is going to cost me $381. Okay. Oof. I see why it's a 2.5 star rating place. Yeah. Ooh. We're in the ghetto. Shit. So, looks like I'll bring everything in and then take everything with me back out to the car. I'm probably going to leave nothing in the room. Yeah. I have a feeling do not disturb's not going to be an option. Yeah. Yeah. That's rough. But yeah, I'm here now. So, we'll see how it goes. I am going to probably bring some of my stuff up in the room. Hang some stuff that says do not disturb. And I'll check some times. I might drive back to the con, register, or see what time they open in the morning, what time for my event. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've stayed in worse in all reality, but I'd rather not leave anything in here. Definitely not electronics wise. My camera, laptop, that's probably not going to be staying. Um, my cooler will probably end up staying. Clothes. Uh, nothing else value wise. If people are wondering, whenever I get back, I'll tell you what this place is. All right.
Oh, hey guys, DJ Guildmaster. This is another audio portion of the video. So you want to go to a con. This part will deal with things that you should remember to bring, some backup stuff like that. And my visit to HistoriCon, a couple of things I actually had forgotten or came up last minute because of obvious reasons. So for one, obviously you want to I would bring some cash with you off to the side. Like I said earlier in this video, or it'll be later in the video depending how this is edited. I pay everything with credit card, but with the idea once I got back home from the vacation, go through your records, see that you weren't overcharged hopefully, and then pay it off with the money you already have. So that way you're not putting unnecessary debt or stuff on your credit card, I should say. Other thing, like obviously you have your cell phone, stuff like that. But for gaming aid wise, make sure you have your dice, whatever dice you need for the gamer system, measuring devices that tape measure. Some games don't use tape measures, they use sticks. So if you need a stick, whatever it is, your cards, all your units. And I would also say one or two like backup units. So in case something comes up to where part of your list becomes illegal for whatever reason, which I've seen happen in events, and you need to replace that unit. Well, if you bring just exactly what you need, you know what I mean, just because of space and traveling, you might find yourself on the short end of a stick for a list. So it's good to have some sort of replacement unit or units. Usually I do try to pack the bare bones minimum for my armies. Make sure you have your codex or rule set. FAQs I always bring with. And I know it's more clunky, but I bring paper FAQs and some stuff like that. And I have it usually in a binder, like a 1-inch ring binder. So that way you can just open it up and have it right there. And maybe go through it. And especially certain FAQ things or erratas dealing specifically with your army, have those kind of highlighted, because those might be points of contention or question from your opponent, which happens, you know what I mean. Or in the case of bolt action, some rules change. Like I think this is the third time Tiger Fear's changed, so like stuff like that. Also make sure like you bring water. You obviously bring deodorant. That's the biggest thing. So that's kind of it. Now, the two things that I forgot this year at HistoriCon, one of which, as simple as it is, some people don't use them. I prefer to use them depending. A dice tray. There's all kinds of dice trays out there. I used to use a dice tower for some events, especially for X-Wing, and I had actually gotten into some issues with the dice tower. My opponent, I was rolling hot that day, and he tried saying the dice towers was somehow affecting my rolls. And talked to the TO, and I had to roll outside the dice tower. So stuff like that you kind of have to watch. But usually a dice tray is pretty good, especially if you have like well-painted stuff or your opponent has well-painted stuff. There's nothing worse than dice smacking off of models, maybe knocking them over. I know I seal my models with clear coat. Some people don't. And like I've seen dice, even regular plastic Chessex dice, the larger ones, chip paint. And that feels good for nobody. So plus 2 terrain, dice might fall off the table, or in the case of Bolt Action and Mythos tournament, the tables were so awesome that everything had like teddy bear fur on it, which was high grass. So like good luck rolling dice and not having them cocked, which I'll go over cocked dice here in a second. And that's kind of the nice part about a dice tray. It does happen for cocked dice, but like it kind of alleviates that problem. The other thing I would say with a dice tray, though, two things. If the dice is clearly clocked in a tray, either you re-roll it or you don't, whatever the result is. But be consistent with your opponent. I know some guys are like, hey, my dice is, if it's cocked, I'm keeping whatever the roll is, bad or good. Just be consistent. That's my biggest thing. If I have a cocked dice, even if the result benefits me, if I put a dice on there and it slides off, I re-roll it. Not only that, if you're using a dice tray, like I tell my opponent, everything I roll in the tray is what I'm rolling. If something pops out or I drop a dice before the tray, even if the result's good, I pick it up and throw it back in the dice tray. You know what I mean? But the main thing is be consistent with your opponent, because like you are having a social contract obligation, so to speak, with your opponent playing the game. So like, and the nice part is if you're using a dice tray, it's you keep all your dice right there, and you should roll it in front of your opponent. And if he wants to use your dice tray, that's kind of on you. I generally let my opponent use it if they want to, but if they don't, hey, that's on them. But like roll it in front of him, and before you start grabbing whatever, maybe give it a second or two for him to go look over the results too. I've had some opponents, I've missed a hit or two, and they're like, oh no, you missed one. That's also a hit. And I'm like, really? And they help kind of catch it, especially if you're playing a gentlemanly game, you know. So that's why I like having dice trays, and they fold up pretty nice. Like a lot of the they're like cardboard covered with like pleather, stuff like that. They're nice. Other thing to remember to bring is if there's supposed to be mission packs or things put out by the TO. Now the reason I bring this up is for Team Yankee Nationals, I didn't realize that they redid the mission matrix in June. Somehow I missed it. So as I'm playing, luckily a lot of the missions stayed the same. There are some new ones rotated in. But what ended up happening was one of the missions had changed slightly. They put repel in, so they changed missions slightly. Luckily, it kind of didn't affect our game, the one where we noticed it afterwards. And there was a new mission called Probe I played with one of my opponents. I have never played before, so it was a little bit different. Luckily, it was similar to some other missions. It wasn't too bad. But that's whenever I realized I had the old Matrix. And this was like round 3. And I was like, oh my god. I felt so bad because like I had won a round previously. You know what I mean? That's when I went back through, looked through the mission I had played. And okay, everything jived out. But I felt so bad because like, depending if we rolled the wrong mission, I just shorted my opponent. Luckily that wasn't the case. But just be cognizant of that. A lot of places will put out things like a rule book or a codex or even like an FAQ set in some instances won't be legal after a certain date. Like that case, obviously the rules were current, up to date. I somehow missed it amongst all my practice playing and everything else, and nobody at our play group even noticed it either. They didn't even know there was a new thing put out. I don't know if I missed it in updates or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if Battle Rankings put out a thing either, but long story short, it's kind of on you to make sure you go look up any new FAQs. Now, I do know some companies are very hard to find their erratas and FAQs because they don't do a very good job of posting when they do new stuff. Or just, hey, we have a new FAQ, and you try to find it, and you can only find the old stuff. So be aware of that. Other than that, I can't think of anything else extra that should be brought or like things to remember. If you guys do, especially going to events, I know like our audience seems to be pretty casual players like myself. I just like dabbling in the competitive side. Post in the comments what you've forgotten maybe in an event or what you recommend to always have or bring. Alright guys, I hope this helps you, this video, whenever we drop it here. I know it's getting late coming. I've been going to a lot of concerts lately, stuff like that. But I'll go make a video about that later on. I've just been busy. Alright guys, peace.